Good morning. It's Sunday, 4th of October 2015. Let's see the paper highlights in today's newspapers. The main headline in Sunday Times says, Money looted by former VIPs. Government faces dilemma. The government's campaign to recover foreign assets of the leaders of the previous government has set a pause. It is unable to offer general amnesty to Sri Lankans as an incentive to bring money deposited in foreign banks, particularly in Switzerland. The move prompted Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake, now on a campaign to show up foreign exchange reserves, to declare that no questions would be asked. For the moment, the Finance Ministry is to ensure that state agencies like, for example, the Department of Inland Revenue do not initiate any action against those remitting the funds to Sri Lanka. Others who will initiate action are the Exchange Control Department and the Central Bank. However, a further elaboration is to come when he presents the government first budget on November 20th. There, he is to detail out the categories of people who would benefit from what would in reality be an amnesty. Yet, the legality of Finance Minister Karunanayake's announcement is being questioned. Another headline says, SLPA headless. Union claims Arjuna trying to appoint brother. The Sri Lanka Ports Authority has had no chairman, vice chairman or board of directors for the past 1 month, and unions fear Ports and Shipping Minister Arjuna Ranatunga wants his younger brother appointed to the topmost position. A union leader said he had no problem with Mr. Ranatunga, but if they bring family members into the SLPA, they are setting the stage for corruption, not development. And the headline at the bottom says, Geneva overshadows Lanka's meetings in New York. The Sri Lanka delegation, which spent nearly a week at the United Nations participating in the high-level segment of the annual debate with over 150 world leaders in attendance, remained more focused on the meeting of the Human Rights Council in Geneva than on the General Assembly session in New York. The two meetings by coincidence overlapped, taking place during the same week. Clearly, the shadow of Geneva was hanging over the delegation in New York and pursuing it in most of the bilateral meetings. The interaction between New York and Geneva was punctuated by scores of phone calls and emails aimed at revising and tweaking the text of resolution, primarily on reconciliation, accountability, and human rights in Sri Lanka. The resolution was adopted without a vote by the 47-member council on Thursday. President Maithripala Sirisena and Foreign Minister Mangala Samaraweera were involved in several bilateral meetings at the UN, while leaders assured them their support for the resolution. The vocal supporters in Geneva included the United States, Britain, China, South Africa, and India, most of whom were involved in bilaterals in New York. Let's now look at the paper highlights in Sunday Observer. The main headline says, Domestic process taking shape, to include commissions for trust, missing persons and reparations. Ranil to outline modalities to Parliament next week. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe will outline to Parliament the process of setting up proposed domestic mechanism to investigate rights abuses during the period specified in the OHCHR report upon his return from the official visit to Japan next week. The proposed domestic mechanism, the Sunday Observer learns, will be an entirely Sri Lankan one. Sources said any tribunal that may be set up is likely to include only Sri Lankan nationals, and added that the mechanism would keep a window open for sound foreign expertise. As part of the government's commitment, there will be a Commission for Truth, Justice, Reconciliation and Non-Recurrence, in addition to an Office of Missing Persons and an Office for Reparations. Authoritative sources said the actual work on the consultation process, covering all stakeholders including the victims and religious leaders, to decide on the modalities of the process will begin by mid-October. There's another headline which says, Government to issue certificates for the missing. The government intends issuing certificates to the families of missing persons by the end of the year, paving the way for post-Geneva accountability action. Among the key commitments made by Colombo during the recently concluded 30th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council, where a resolution was adopted on Sri Lanka promoting accountability and justice, are the setting up of a Commission for Truth, Justice, Reconciliation and Non-Recurrence, in addition to an Office of Missing Persons and an Office for Reparations. Another headline says, Attempt on Maldivian President's Life. Sri Lanka sends CID team to Mali. Sri Lanka has sent a team of 4 detectives and forensic experts to Mali to assist in the suspected assassination bid on Maldivian President Yamin Abdul Gayoom last week. The experts, including officers of the Criminal Investigation Department, left for Mali on October 1st. They will be joining the local investigation team in Mali, Maldivian official sources confirmed. The Maldives president and the wife were traveling to Malé from Ibrahim Nazir International Airport when the explosion occurred. The president escaped unhurt, but his wife and an aide suffered minor injuries. According to reports, a bodyguard was more seriously hurt. The couple had been returning from their Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia. Earlier, Mohammed Hussein Sharif, a minister at the president's office, told reporters in Colombo that a mechanical issue could have been the probable cause. But on Wednesday, the Maldivian Foreign Minister Dunya Mahmoud, who was attending the UN General Assembly in Geneva, said it was likely the explosion was a targeted attack. Government sources said the investigators so far have not unearthed anything to rule out the assassination's bid theory. In addition to Sri Lanka, the US, India, Australia and Saudi Arabia are assisting in the investigations. Let's now move to the paper highlights in Ceylon today. The top headline says, Genetic test results point to one man. Serial killer in Kotaketana. Genetic Molecular Diagnosis Research Institute, after analyzing biosamples taken from the crime scenes and the remains of the victims, has confirmed that 4 murders that were committed in Kotaketana and Kahawatha areas have been linked to a single person. Senior scientist and the head of the GMDRI, Dr. Ruwan Ilapperuma, told Ceylon today that he has been able to locate a common DNA profile from 4 different cases. According to him, the isolated samples taken from the remains of the victims as well as the crime scenes of 4 different cases belong to one particular male individual with that particular DNA profile. And another headline says, Prison Department official had links with drug kingpin. Prison officers ready to spill the beans. A group of high-ranking prison officers are planning to disclose information on how a former top brass of the Department of Prisons was maintaining close ties with a powerful underworld figure involved in the drug trade, and how he sent his child to a foreign country for higher education using the money given by the drug dealer. These officers have already disclosed that there is an intelligence report on the activities of the said department official and his link to the drug dealer. As a formal investigation has not been launched into the conduct of the official up to now, the prison officers said they will take the necessary steps to raise awareness about this incident by informing the President, the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister in charge of the Prisons Department. We brought you today's newspaper highlights and we'll be bringing back more tomorrow. Thank you.